There's a lake in Africa called Lake Nduku. It looks calm, clear water, green trees, birds everywhere. But the locals say that lake was once a village, and the people who live there are the reason the water never stays quiet. If you felt that chill, hit like and subscribe for more true African mysteries, because the next story will break your heart. A long time ago, Nduku wasn't a lake at all. It was a small, busy village known for drumming and fishing. The people were kind, but poor. The land was dry, and they depended on the nearby stream for survival. Every evening they gathered by the stream to drum and sing, not for fun, but to call on rain. Their rhythm was gentle, deep, soft, and full of hope. But one year, the rain stopped completely. The crops failed. Children got sick. The animals began to die. The village chief called for help from every direction: priests, rainmakers, travelers, but no one could help. Then one day, an old drummer named Kuma returned to the village. He had traveled across many towns, playing drums for kings and chiefs. When he saw his home dying, he said, "The gods have closed their ears. Only one sound can open them again." That night, he brought out an old drum wrapped in dark animal hide. He said he made it with his own hands in the desert, and that it carried the voice of the earth. The villagers were afraid. The elders warned him not to play it, but the chief said, "If it can bring back rain, play it." So Kuma began to drum by the dry stream. The rhythm was unlike anything they had heard before, heavy and deep, like the ground itself was breathing. The villagers listened. Then they felt the wind change. By the next morning, clouds gathered, rain fell. The people shouted for joy, but something was wrong. The rain didn't stop. It rained for days, then weeks. The river rose and swallowed the farms. The water entered homes. People ran to the chief. He told Kuma to stop drumming, but Kuma said, "I can't. The drum won't let me." He looked weak, pale, as if the drum was taking his strength. The chief tried to destroy it, but every time he hit it, the sound of drumming echoed from nowhere. That night, the villagers packed their things and climbed the nearby hills. From there, they watched their entire village sink under the rising water. They called to Kuma to come, but he didn't move. He kept drumming, slowly, until the water covered his head. When the rain finally stopped, the village was gone. Only the lake remained. Years later, the people who survived built a new settlement nearby. They called it New Nduku. No one talked about the old village anymore, but every few years fishermen reported strange things, drum beats under the water, and voices calling faintly at night. At first, people said it was just the wind. Then one year, during the dry season, the lake level dropped. Some villagers saw wooden roofs under the water, and even parts of old drums. That's when the stories began again. A young man named Tayo, who worked for the local council, didn't believe any of it. He said, "You people just love fear. It's only echoes from boats." He decided to prove everyone wrong. One night, he went to the lake alone with a flashlight and a small hand drum. He started recording the sound of the waves. Around midnight, he tapped his drum. Softly once, the echo came back. Once, he smiled and tapped twice. The echo returned. Twice. He laughed. "You see? Just sound waves." But then he heard it. 3 beats. Deep, slow, and heavy. Not his. Coming from under the water. He stopped. The lake became still. Then the drum beats started again. Slower, heavier. The ground vibrated slightly. Tayo panicked. He tried to run, but he slipped on the wet stones. His flashlight fell into the water. The next morning, his boat was found empty, still tied to the shore. His recorder was recovered. The last thing on it was the sound of water splashing and a faint rhythm. 3 slow beats, then silence. The police called it an accident. Locals said, no, the lake took him. He answered the drums. Today, Lake Nduku is quiet again. No one fishes there after sunset. Old people say if you walk too close at night, you might hear the sound of drums under the water. Some even claim to have seen ripples forming in the shape of circles, like drum beats hitting from below. No one knows where Kuma's drum went. No one knows why it began to play on its own. But every year, when the rain first falls, people in Nunduku place a small drum outside their doors. Not to play, but to show respect, because they believe the lake still remembers. And sometimes, when the night is quiet enough, you can still hear it, a faint rhythm from deep under the earth. Boom, boom, boom. Now questions. If the drum could bring rain once, do you think it could bring the dead back too? Was Kuma saving his people or destroying them? If you heard drums under the water tonight, would you listen or run? Some sounds never die. They just wait for someone foolish enough to listen. If this story touched your soul, hit like and subscribe, because the next one will make your heart stop before it beats again.